Hello, my dear friends. Let me start with something surprising that will immediately grab your attention. A lawyer is not powerful because of knowledge alone. A lawyer is powerful because of words. Yes, words. The way they speak, the way they choose expressions, the way they shape sentences, the way they control silence, the way they make even a simple sentence sound important. This is the magic of speaking like a lawyer. And today, I want to open this magic for you. I want to show you how you, a normal student, can speak with clarity, confidence, strength, and intelligence, just like a highly trained lawyer. Because speaking like a lawyer is not about wearing a suit. It is not about studying in law school. It is about training your tongue and your mind to express ideas with power. If you learn these secrets, your communication will never be the same again. You will speak in class with strength. You will answer questions with clarity. You will present ideas with confidence. People will listen to you. People will respect your words. So stay with me till the end, because today you are going to transform the way you speak. Speaking like a lawyer means speaking in a way that makes others feel your confidence, respect your clarity, and follow your logic. And the good news, you can learn this. It is not a talent. It is a skill that grows with practice, a skill that improves with attention, a skill that can change your life. So, let us begin the journey. Let us go through 9 powerful secrets that will help you speak like a lawyer. These secrets are simple, practical, and effective. Use them daily, and you will feel the difference in your communication. Secret 1: use clear and strong sentences. If you want to speak like a lawyer, you must first master the art of clear and strong sentences, because this is the foundation of powerful communication. Lawyers understand something that most people ignore. When your sentences are clear, your message becomes strong. When your message is strong, your influence grows. They do not depend on long, complicated sentences to sound intelligent. Instead, they focus on precision. They know exactly what they want to say, and they express it in a way that is easy for the listener to understand. This is why lawyers rarely use weak, confusing, or cluttered statements. They avoid mixing too many ideas in one breath. They avoid rushing through thoughts. They avoid unnecessary words that add no value. Their goal is simple: to make every sentence meaningful, focused, and powerful. Using clear and strong sentences means breaking long ideas into simple and understandable parts. It means choosing words that fit your intention and help your listener understand exactly what you mean. It means speaking in a way that feels structured and organized. When you use clear sentences, you show that you respect your listener's time and attention. You show that you care about delivering your thoughts in a way that is easy to follow. And most importantly, you show that you are confident in what you are saying. Confidence is not only in your voice, it is in your clarity. When your sentences are clean and direct, people naturally trust your words more. They see you as someone who thinks before speaking. They see you as someone who has discipline in communication. They see you as someone who sounds intelligent not because of difficult vocabulary, but because of organized thoughts. One of the biggest mistakes students make when trying to sound smart is using long, complicated sentences or adding too many details at once. But lawyers know the opposite is true. Simplicity is strength. A clear sentence cuts through confusion. A clear sentence delivers the exact message. A clear sentence removes doubt. And a clear sentence makes you sound powerful. So, take the time to slow down. Think about what you want to say. Choose the right words. Remove unnecessary fillers like, or basically. These fillers make your sentence weaker. Lawyers avoid them because these words show hesitation instead of confidence. When you remove fillers, your speech sounds sharp and focused. Another important element of clear sentences is speaking slowly enough so that your words have weight. Fast speech often hides weak structure. When you slow down, your listener has time to absorb your message. Your ideas land properly. Your sentences become easier to understand. Your voice sounds more stable and confident. Remember, a lawyer's power does not come from speed. It comes from clarity, and clarity comes from calm, controlled expression. So, practice forming clean, simple, direct sentences every day. Re-say your sentences until they sound organized. Train yourself to remove unnecessary words. Think in clear steps. This habit will strengthen your communication more than anything else. If you truly want to speak like a lawyer, this is your first and most important step, mastering the art of clear and strong sentences. Secret 2. Control your tone and pace. If you want to speak like a lawyer, you must learn to control your tone and pace because these two elements determine how your message is received. Lawyers never speak too fast because fast speech usually signals nervousness. They never speak in a shaky voice because it reduces the listener's trust. They never rush their thoughts because rushed communication often creates confusion. Instead, lawyers control their speed, their volume, and their overall presence. They speak in a balanced, calm, steady rhythm that immediately tells the listener, I know what I am saying, and I believe in every word. Confidence does not only come from the content of your message, it comes from the way you deliver it. And the way you deliver your message is shaped by your tone and your pace. Tone is the emotion behind your voice. Pace is the speed at which you speak. When your tone is steady, neutral, and controlled, people feel that you are confident and reliable. When your pace is slow enough for every word to be understood clearly, your speech becomes stronger and more meaningful. Controlling your tone and pace shows maturity. It shows calmness. It shows discipline. It shows that you are not speaking emotionally or impulsively. You are speaking intentionally, thoughtfully, and clearly. This is why lawyers sound powerful even when they use simple words, because the delivery is strong. They use tone like a tool. They use pace like a strategy. When you slow down your speech, you are not showing weakness, you are showing strength. Fast speech makes the listener work harder to understand. Slow, steady speech gives the listener time to absorb your ideas. It also gives you time to think before you speak, which improves clarity. Pausing at the right moment adds even more power. A pause is not silence, it is emphasis. A pause tells the listener that what you are about to say is important. A pause shows that you are in control of the conversation. A pause gives weight to your words. Lawyers understand this and use pauses to increase authority and impact. Another important part of controlling tone and pace is removing filler words. Words uh, like basically, and weaken your message. They make you sound uncertain, hesitant, or unprepared. When you remove fillers, your speech becomes sharper and more professional. Listeners feel more confident trusting your message because your voice sounds clean and focused. Practice speaking slowly and clearly. Practice stopping when you feel a filler word coming. Practice breathing deeply before speaking. Good communication begins with control, and control begins with awareness. When you master tone and pace, Your voice becomes more powerful even without increasing your volume. People listen to you more. They respect your words more. They believe your message more. You sound calm, focused, and intelligent. You sound like someone who thinks carefully and speaks with purpose. You sound like a lawyer. Secret 3. Build a strong vocabulary. A lawyer's vocabulary is one of their strongest and most reliable weapons. And if you want to speak like a lawyer, you must build a strong, precise, and meaningful vocabulary. But let me be very clear. This does not mean memorizing complex legal terms or difficult academic words. Lawyers are powerful not because they use complicated vocabulary, but because they use accurate vocabulary. They choose words that express their ideas with clarity. They choose words that show control. They choose words that make the listener feel the weight of their message. A strong vocabulary is not about sounding complicated, it is about sounding correct. And when your words match your meaning perfectly, your communication becomes powerful, sharp, and professional. The secret to vocabulary is precision. Instead of saying, I think, you can say, I believe, which sounds more confident. Instead of saying maybe, you can say possibly, which sounds more balanced and thoughtful. Instead of saying very important, you can say essential, which sounds more mature and exact. These small changes create a big difference in how people perceive your communication. When you use precise words, you sound serious, you sound intelligent, you sound like someone who understands what they are saying, you sound like a lawyer. A strong vocabulary gives your speech strength, clarity, and purpose. It removes the weakness that comes from vague or repetitive language. Building a strong vocabulary begins with reading. Reading exposes you to words in context, which is the best way to understand how they are used. Read books, articles, essays, or anything that challenges your language. Every time you see a new word, pause and understand it. Then write it down, then use it in a sentence, then speak it aloud. Speaking new words is very important because vocabulary becomes strong only when you use it, not when you simply recognize it. The more you use a word, the more naturally it becomes part of your speech. The goal is not to learn hundreds of new words in a day. The goal is to learn a few words every day and use them repeatedly until they become part of your communication. Another simple method to improve vocabulary is replacing weak words with stronger alternatives. For example, replace good with excellent, bad with unacceptable, big with significant, or small with minor. These replacements help you express ideas more effectively. They make your speech sound thoughtful and deliberate. Over time, these small upgrades transform your entire communication style. You begin to speak with more authority, more impact, and more clarity. Remember, vocabulary is power. The stronger your vocabulary, the stronger your communication. Words shape your expression. Words shape your confidence. Words shape how people understand you. So commit to learning, practicing, and using new words daily. With every new word, you sharpen your thinking and strengthen your voice. This is how you build the vocabulary of a lawyer. Secret 4. Use logic, not emotion. If you want to speak like a lawyer, one of the most important skills you must learn is the ability to use logic instead of emotion. Lawyers do not argue based on how they feel, they argue based on what they know. They do not react instantly, they respond thoughtfully. They do not shout to win a point, they explain their point with clarity. They do not rely on emotional pressure, they rely on factual strength. Emotion may be powerful in stories, but logic is powerful in communication. Logic makes your message believable. Logic makes your message structured. Logic makes your message strong. When you speak with logic, people listen differently. They see you as someone who thinks, not just someone who feels. They see you as someone who understands, not someone who just reacts. To speak with logic, you must learn how to organize your thoughts before expressing them. Do not throw ideas randomly, arrange them in a clear sequence. First idea, second idea, final idea. This simple structure makes your communication easier to follow and easier to trust. Use transition phrases like firstly, secondly, in addition, therefore, as a result, and in conclusion. These words guide your listener through your thoughts step by step. They show that your message is not impulsive, it is intentional. They show that your mind is organized. When you use structured language, you immediately sound more intelligent and more credible. People trust speakers whose ideas flow logically. Another important part of logic based communication is avoiding unnecessary emotion. This does not mean you should speak like a robot. It simply means you should not let emotions control the meaning of your message. When you speak with too much emotion, your words lose clarity, your points get lost. Your listener becomes distracted by your tone instead of your ideas. Lawyers focus on calm explanation because calmness helps the listener focus on the facts. When you speak slowly, your words sound more serious. When you remove emotional reactions, your communication becomes more professional. Calm logic is your strength. Using logic also means choosing facts, examples, or reasons to support your statements. Do not say, I just feel this is right. Instead, say, based on the information, this seems right. Do not say, everyone knows this. Instead, say, according to what we know, this is true. These small changes show that your words are grounded in reason. Logical speakers sound trustworthy because they show evidence. Logical speakers sound organized because they use sequence. Logical speakers sound intelligent because they think before speaking. So always pause, think, and structure your thoughts before you open your mouth. Remove unnecessary emotion. Use transition words. Speak with calmness. Keep your message factual. This simple habit will instantly transform your communication. You will sound clearer, stronger, more professional, and more trustworthy. In other words, you will sound like a lawyer. Secret 5. Ask smart questions. If you truly want to speak like a lawyer, you must develop the ability to ask smart, thoughtful, and meaningful questions. Lawyers are not only strong speakers, they are exceptional questioners. They understand that questions are powerful tools. A good question can open a closed mind. A good question can clear confusion. A good question can expose truth. A good question can deepen understanding. Lawyers use questions to guide conversations, to challenge assumptions, and to discover important details. You can develop this same ability. Smart questions show that you are thinking deeply. They show that you are listening carefully. They show that you are engaged in the conversation. People respect those who ask intelligent questions because such questions reflect clarity, curiosity, and confidence. Asking smart questions also shows emotional maturity. It shows that you do not jump to conclusions. It shows that you prefer understanding over assumptions. It shows that you value clarity over confusion. When you pause and ask the right question, you make the conversation more meaningful. You help others think. You help yourself grow. You create a space where ideas can be explored more honestly. This is why lawyers often use questions such as, can you explain that further? Or, What exactly do you mean by that? These questions invite clarity. They reduce misunderstanding. They help everyone move toward the truth. By asking questions like these, you show that you want to understand, not argue. Another type of powerful question is the evidence based question. Lawyers often ask, is there evidence for this? Or, what information supports this claim? These questions push the conversation beyond opinion and into fact. They help you separate truth from assumption. Using evidence based questions makes your communication stronger and more logical. It shows that you value accuracy. It shows that your thinking is grounded. It shows that you are not easily convinced without reliable information. This level of questioning immediately makes you look more intelligent and thoughtful. You can also ask exploratory questions such as, what are the alternatives? Or, is there another point of view? These questions open the conversation to new ideas. They prevent narrow thinking. They help people consider different possibilities. They show creativity, open mindedness, and curiosity qualities that are highly respected. When you ask questions that explore different angles, you lead the conversation to deeper understanding. You help others see things they may have missed. You become a guide in the discussion, not just a participant. Smart questioning also builds connection. When people see that you are truly trying to understand them, they feel respected, they feel heard, they feel valued. This strengthens your relationships, whether in school discussions, teamwork, or everyday communication. The person who asks good questions becomes memorable, they become trusted, they become respected, and most importantly, they become better learners. Every smart question you ask adds to your knowledge and sharpens your mind. So, develop the habit of questioning. Do not fear asking. Do not assume you already know. Ask clearly, confidently, and with purpose. The more smart questions you ask, the more powerful, intelligent, and confident your communication becomes, just like a lawyer. Secret 6. Use confident body language. Speaking like a lawyer is not only about the words you choose, it is also about the presence you create. Lawyers understand that communication begins long before they open their mouths. The way they stand, the way they walk, the way they look at people, and the way they use their hands all send powerful signals. Confidence is not just spoken, it is shown. This is why lawyers stand tall with a straight posture. They make steady eye contact. They use hand movements with intention, not randomly. They do not look afraid, nervous, or unsure. Their body language tells people, I am prepared, I am confident, I know what I am saying. If you want to speak like a lawyer, you must learn to control your body language and use it to support your words. Your body communicates even before your first sentence. If you walk into a room with slouched shoulders, lowered head, or restless movements, people instantly perceive you as unsure. They may not listen to you seriously. But if you enter with a calm posture, straight back, relaxed shoulders, and balanced steps, people give you more respect before you even speak. This is the silent power of body language. It has the ability to strengthen or weaken your message. Lawyers know this, and that is why they treat their posture and gestures with discipline. To build confident body language, start with your posture. Stand straight but not stiff. Keep your shoulders relaxed, not tight. Maintain a balanced and open stance. When you sit, avoid collapsing into the chair. Sit upright with a steady posture. A strong posture signals self control and confidence. Next, practice making eye contact. Eye contact does not mean staring, it means showing presence, showing attention, and showing honesty. When you look at people while speaking, they feel your confidence. They trust your words more. Eye contact is one of the strongest tools of a confident speaker. Hand movements are also important. Lawyers use gestures to highlight important points, not to distract. Your gestures should be open, controlled, and meaningful. Avoid fidgeting, tapping fingers, playing with objects, or making rapid movements. These actions show nervousness and reduce the strength of your message. Use your hands only when necessary and use them to guide your speech, not to interrupt it. Avoid closed body language such as crossing your arms, looking down at the ground, or hiding your hands in pockets. These behaviors create distance and show insecurity. Instead, keep your body open and approachable. This makes your communication more powerful and your presence more trustworthy. When your body language is strong, your speech becomes stronger. People believe your words more when your body supports them. You appear confident even before you speak. And when you begin speaking, your voice and your presence work together to create authority. Confidence is not only spoken, it is shown. And strong body language is one of the most powerful tools you can develop to speak like a lawyer. Secret 7. Master the power of pauses. If you want to speak like a lawyer, one of the most powerful tools you can master is the art of pausing. Yes, pausing. Silence is not empty. Silence is not a mistake. Silence, when used correctly, is one of the most effective ways to make your speech strong, clear, and persuasive. Lawyers understand this instinctively. They know that words alone are not enough. It is the rhythm, timing, and pauses between words that give their message weight. When you pause at the right moment, your listener has time to absorb your ideas. Your words land more effectively. Your message feels deliberate and intentional. And most importantly, you appear calm, confident, and in control. Silence gives your communication power because it allows your audience to focus on what matters most. Pauses serve many purposes in a conversation or speech. First, they give your listener time to process what you are saying. When sentences come too fast without a break, people can feel overwhelmed or confused. A pause allows them to catch up mentally. It ensures that your ideas are understood fully. Second, pauses give your words more weight. When you pause before or after a key point, that point becomes highlighted. The listener senses that this is important, that this idea deserves attention. Lawyers use pauses strategically to emphasize facts, statements, or arguments, and this is what makes their speech persuasive. Third, pauses make you sound calm and controlled. Fast, continuous speech can signal nervousness or uncertainty. Slow, deliberate speech with well placed pauses signals confidence and authority. People trust speakers who are measured in their delivery. Pauses also make your speech dramatic and engaging. Human beings respond to rhythm, and strategic silence creates a natural rhythm in communication. Pauses generate anticipation. They make the audience curious about what comes next. This keeps listeners alert and interested. Lawyers often pause after asking a question or before giving a critical statement. These pauses create focus and make the audience pay attention. If you want to sound like a lawyer, you must learn to use pauses as a tool to guide the listener's attention and highlight your key ideas. To practice, start by consciously slowing down your speech. Take a deep breath between sentences or between key ideas. Pause before delivering an important point. Use silence to create emphasis rather than filling every moment with words. Avoid fillers like uh, or you know, which destroy the effect of a pause. Remember, a pause is not a weakness. It is a demonstration of control. It shows that you are deliberate, thoughtful, and confident. When you master the power of pauses, your communication transforms. You sound measured, persuasive, and authoritative. You sound like a lawyer. Silence becomes your strongest ally in powerful speech. Secret 8: be precise and factual. If you want to speak like a lawyer, one of the most important habits you must develop is precision in your speech. Lawyers never speak in vague or general terms. They avoid statements like everyone knows, many people say, or I heard somewhere. Such phrases weaken the impact of your words and make you sound uncertain. Instead, lawyers speak with exactness. They provide facts, they refer to evidence, they give clear and specific information. Precision shows that you are thoughtful, organized, and intelligent. It demonstrates that your words are not careless or impulsive. Precision is not just about using strong words. It is about giving statements that are accurate, meaningful, and believable. When you speak with precision, people naturally pay attention. They respect your communication, they trust what you say. Being factual is equally important. Lawyers rely on facts rather than opinions. When they make an argument, they always back it with evidence. They say things like, according to the data, based on the results, the evidence shows, or in my analysis. These phrases give weight to their words. They tell the listener that the statement is not just an opinion, but a carefully considered truth. When you include factual details, your speech becomes credible. It becomes professional. It becomes persuasive. Without facts, words are empty. With facts, words have authority. When you combine precision and facts, your communication gains power. You show that you think before speaking. You show that you understand the subject. You show that your words matter. Another aspect of precision is avoiding exaggeration. Do not overstate ideas. Do not guess. Do not use terms like always or never unless you are certain. Exaggeration may sound impressive at first, but it reduces credibility over time. A lawyer's statements are measured, balanced, and accurate. When you speak carefully and factually, listeners feel that your ideas are trustworthy. They are more likely to accept your points. They are more likely to take your words seriously. Precision gives clarity, credibility, and strength. It separates careful thinkers from careless speakers. To practice, start by choosing your words carefully. Think about what you want to communicate before speaking. Replace vague phrases with specific terms. Use data, examples, or evidence when possible. Keep your sentences focused and direct. When you do this consistently, your communication improves dramatically. People begin to notice that you speak with authority. They begin to listen with respect. They begin to trust your judgment. Precision and facts are the marks of professionalism and intelligence. Mastering this skill is a major step towards speaking like a lawyer because every word you speak will carry weight, meaning, and credibility. Secret 9: speak with purpose. The final secret to speaking like a lawyer is also the most powerful. Always speak with purpose. Lawyers do not speak carelessly or without intention. Every word they utter is deliberate. Every sentence is structured, and every idea is directed toward a specific goal. They understand that communication is not just about filling silence or sounding intelligent. It is about making an impact. When lawyers speak, they know why they are speaking, what they want to achieve, and how their words will be received. This sense of purpose gives their speech strength, clarity, and influence. If you want to speak like a lawyer, you must adopt the same mindset. You must learn to speak intentionally and with clear direction so that every word you say carries meaning and weight. Speaking with purpose means that you do not speak just to impress or to occupy time. It means you think before you speak. You ask yourself questions like, what is the goal of my sentence? What message do I want to deliver right now? How will my words affect the listener? These questions guide your communication and help you avoid empty or weak statements. Speaking with purpose also means focusing on clarity. When you are clear about your goal, your words naturally become more organized and precise. You avoid unnecessary details. You avoid repetition. You avoid filler words that weaken your message. Purpose driven speech is concise, direct, and impactful. Another important aspect of speaking with purpose is intentionality. Lawyers choose words carefully because they know that each word carries weight. Words can persuade, influence, and inspire, or they can confuse and weaken. When you speak with intention, you are fully aware of the effect of your words. You do not allow random thoughts to escape your mouth. You do not rely on habit or filler words. You speak deliberately, shaping your sentences to convey exactly what you mean. This habit makes your communication stronger and more professional. It makes your ideas memorable and respected. Speaking with purpose also develops maturity and discipline in communication. People who speak without purpose often sound casual, scattered, or unsure. Purposeful speakers, on the other hand, sound confident, disciplined, and in control. Their words carry authority, and their ideas resonate with listeners. Purpose gives meaning to every conversation, every discussion, and every interaction. It transforms ordinary speech into powerful communication. It allows you to lead, influence, and inspire through your words. Purpose is the heart of speaking like a lawyer because without it, even the most intelligent words can lose their impact. So, make it your habit to speak with purpose. Think before you speak. Plan your ideas. Choose your words carefully. Speak with clarity, intention, and direction. When you do this consistently, your speech will be meaningful, your communication will be powerful, and your words will carry influence. Speaking with purpose is not just a skill, it is a mindset. Master this mindset, and you will speak like a lawyer. Final words to my dear students. My dear students, speaking like a lawyer is not about using complicated words, memorizing legal jargon, or arguing loudly to prove a point. It is not about trying to impress others with how much you know. Speaking like a lawyer is about expressing yourself with clarity, confidence, logic, precision, and purpose. It is about making your words count, making your ideas understood, and making your presence felt. The 9 secrets we have discussed: strong sentences, controlled tone and pace, powerful vocabulary, logical flow, smart questions, confident body language, intentional pauses, precise language, and purposeful expression are your tools. They are not just tips, they are habits. Use them consistently, practice them daily, master them fully. When you integrate these secrets into your communication, you will notice a transformation. You will speak with maturity. You will speak with intelligence. You will speak with authority. You will speak like a lawyer. Remember, my students, communication is far more than a skill. It is a superpower. On English Achieve Students Hub, I always tell my students that the ability to express yourself clearly and confidently opens doors, builds trust, and creates opportunities that knowledge alone cannot. When you learn to speak with purpose, your words become tools for influence. They allow you to persuade, inspire, and lead. They make others listen to you, respect you, and follow your ideas. And the best part is that this superpower grows with practice. The more you speak deliberately, the stronger your presence becomes. The more you think before you speak, the more effective your communication becomes. So keep practicing, keep improving, keep growing. Do not rush this journey. Take it step by step, secret by secret. And one day, when you look in the mirror, you will feel the pride of transformation. You will say, "Yes, I speak with confidence. Yes, I speak with clarity. Yes, I speak like a lawyer." That is the power of purposeful communication, and it is now in your hands.